Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all know my slogan. I don't know it all, but I know what I've been through. Now, before we get into this video, make sure you check us out on Patreon at www.patreon.com/Hookah Anonymous _. You guys been telling us to create one for the longest, so we recently created a community where we will upload videos that we can't share on YouTube due to their guidelines. We'll also be dropping the latest to there first, behind the scenes information that you wouldn't find anywhere else on our socials. So make sure you become a member, and after you do that, head over to our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _ and follow us there. Now without further ado, let's get into what you guys came here to see. Now, on another episode of this OTF trial in Lil Durk, it seems like the saga continues. Every time we turn around, it seems like these people are doing everything except getting this trial started. And when it comes to this situation, I'ma always mention this because it still seems weird to me that to this day, March 10, 2026, the guys who unalive FBG Duck have still not been sentenced. They've been convicted, the trial has been over, and they are just awaiting sentencing. But for some strange reason, it appears that they haven't even been sentenced. Keep in mind, they've been found guilty since January of 2024, which means that it's already been 2 years and 3 months since they've been awaiting sentencing. For some strange reason, their sentencing continues getting pushed back, and I'm not saying it's a guarantee, but don't be surprised if one of the reasons is due to this Lil Durk and OTF trial. Now, I'm only saying that because something just isn't adding up. However, I could be wrong. Now, today we're going to get into the latest news concerning this OTF trial and Lil Durk, and at this point, it's starting to seem like a Netflix special where everyone is just waiting for the next episode to come out, because every time you turn around, it's something new. Now, it's been brought to our attention that they say Young Thug's lawyer, Mr. Brian Steele, who represented him in the YSL trial, has now been added to Lil Durk's case, hoping to get him off where he don't end up doing any time. So far, I think he's had about 2 years. They say he's been incarcerated, and I guess this is why he wants to get this case out the way, because at this point, it's like they're just sitting while time go by. Now, before we get into it, let me say this. Currently, Durk already have about 2 attorneys on this case, I think 3, and one of them happens to be Drew Finland, who calls himself the $1 billion lawyer. Not million, billion. Now, this is a lawyer that represented almost everyone in the music industry, including Cardi B, but his most recognized client will have to be the current president of the United States, Donald Trump. Now, the reason I bring that up is because I wonder what's the significance of bringing Brian Steele into the picture when you already have one of the biggest, if not the biggest attorneys within the music industry. Now, did they fall out? Do Durk think it's just in his best interest to go with Brian Steele because he has a history of beating cases when it comes to musicians? Did Drew Finland suggest this idea? What is it? Because let me tell you right now, to have Drew, I'm sure he's already costing him an arm and a leg. Then to bring Brian on board is definitely going to be an arm, leg, and a torso, because now you're paying more attorneys. Unless Durk just got it like that. But if that's the route he's going, I'm pretty sure by the time this case is over, that bank account will be drained. For one, that's exactly what these cases do when it comes to the courts, but then 2, you have 2 high-profile attorneys on one case. So I don't know, I guess we'll just have to stay tuned, but it is interesting to see Brian Steele be the newest addition to Durk's legal team. And not only that, this should also let everyone know that this case is a little more serious than people think. Like we've been saying for the longest. Everyone keeps saying Durk is coming home, they only got songs and lyrics, they don't got nothing on them. But if it was that easy, he wouldn't be needing Brian Steele to come on board, especially when you already have a high-profile attorney like Drew Finland, right? But anyway, let's get into the document stating that Brian will be the newest addition. And in the meantime, make sure you hit that thumbs up button, hype the video so we can get it in the algorithm. And if you're not subscribed to the platform already, make sure you do so now. Let's get into it. Now, it all started when it's been noted that Brian Steele filed a pro hack vice motion to join Durk's legal team. It's when a request is made by an attorney who is not licensed to practice in a specific jurisdiction, seeking permission to represent a client in a particular case within that jurisdiction. This motion typically requires sponsorship by a local attorney in adherence to local court rules. Now, I'm not sure who came up with this idea or how the talks of them even coming together was made. But according to reports, Brian will be replacing another attorney on Durk's case by the name of Jonathan M. Brayman. Brayman will willingly withdraw from the case without any problem, assuming that it's a decision that he was okay with as well, so it was all left up to the judge to grant the motion of Brian Stills. And it looks like just a few hours ago, the motion was in fact granted by the judge. Shout out to Durk all day on Twitter, as they will show the document and it will read as, quote, order by Judge Michael W. Fitzgerald granting 389 non-resident attorney Brian Stills' application to appear pro hac vice on behalf of defendant Durk Banks and designating Christine C. O'Connor as local counsel, which basically means now Brian Stills will officially be a part of Durk's legal representation, followed by Drew Finland, Christy O'Connor, and Marissa Goldberg. Now let's address a few other comments, right? One user on Twitter would say, quote, yes, let's get the trial rolling. My boy coming home. Another user would say, quote, oh, he good, he'll be out. Now you have those that even though Brian was granted to represent Durk, it don't really mean much according to them. One user would state, quote, he barely helped up, if we being honest. And another user would state, quote, this is going to be tough, especially with this being a federal case with multiple witnesses. Thug-ish was not a federal case, so this was going to be a different ball game. But let's see, can any magic be worked? In which he does have a point. Now here's the thing, most people don't understand how the feds and the state work. They're very different. The feds are a complete different ball game, and they're a little more strict and they're a little more assertive when it comes to what they have, which is why, like I always say, when they come to get you, only thing they're going to give you is a plea deal. If you don't want to take that, you go straight to trial. And everyone keeps using Thug's case as a reference point, but I don't think any of that matches up to what's going on right now. Durk have multiple witnesses testifying against him according to them, multiple, right? And they have audio and text messages according to them. But once again, the biggest thing is having people who played a role in these crimes flipping on you. Now, unless all of them get up there and pull a Woody, it's not much any lawyer can do in this case. And once again, it's up to the grand jury at the end of the day. Now, here's what I think personally. I think at this point, Brian Stills is introduced to this case just to assure that Durk gets a good plea deal. I know Brian is good for that. Everyone keeps saying that Brian is undefeated, and they're totally false. When a lawyer is considered undefeated, it's when their clients walk away with no jail time at all for the case. A plea deal doesn't count as being undefeated. Getting someone a bunch of time on probation isn't considered undefeated neither, because the minute that person messes up is the minute he or she goes right back to jail. So a lot of people think that Young Thug got off clean, but even Brian Stills was mad that he took the deal that he took because he felt he can beat it. But then again, it's different when you're the one actually spending time in jail opposed to someone representing you from the outside. However, Thug got a bunch of years on probation where he has to walk on thin ice for the remainder of that time, or he will go back to jail. This is the same thing that Meek Mill would complain about after he's been on probation, I think for 9 or 11 years after the case, and he was released. So it's a lot to it, but it's a good look for Durk. I do know having all these attorneys also means that he's spending a lot of money, like I mentioned earlier, so he would hope to win this case, or else that money is down the drain. Now Durk has all these lawyers, but remember he still has co-defendants. So I wonder what does all of this say for them. I don't know, but y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. How do y'all feel about Brian Stills joining the team? Is it a good look, or do you think it really doesn't matter at this point? Jump in the comments, let me know what y'all think. Don't forget to like, hype, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'ma keep on dropping. I'm out.